My brother and I always talk about the benefits of sunlight, how beneficial it is to be getting out in the sun and stuff like that. But some people might ask, how did we survive in higher latitudes, right? Because the consensus is that we came from Africa, so we were built in an environment that had a lot of sunlight, and so we were able to get that sunlight. It comes down to cold. It comes down to cold exposure. And cold exposure is fascinating to me, and I'm still learning about it, but I want to talk about it really quickly. So we release biophotons in our body, which are different frequencies of light. The colder the weather that we are exposed to, the more that those biophotons shift to higher frequency wavelengths of light, more powerful than the sunlight that reaches the earth. And so what this does is it activates the POMC gene, which gives us a tan, and it releases a bunch of hormones that dictate a bunch of genes in our bodies. A lot of the proteins called aromatic amino acids that can absorb light and release biophotons have absorption spectra that are in the UVC range, which that light doesn't even make it to Earth, which proves that we are able to internally create light to activate those genes. It doesn't get very cold here, but it does get cold in the mornings and at night. I don't wear any hoodies, I don't wear pants. I try to absorb as much of the cold as possible. And so if you live in a cold climate, try your best to get used to it. The problem is nobody's used to the cold anymore because we never expose ourselves to it. You need to go through that discomfort of exposing yourself to cold weather. So just expose yourself to cold weather. That is how we survive in higher latitudes, and I find it fascinating.